We're back again this with another bark for you guys. Hope everybody's doing well. And this week's bark, this bark will be. I've been thinking a lot. I wanted to do something originally sooner, but I haven't had a chance to. I noticed. Of course, everybody knows in the last, I guess it's been a month now. I guess it has since the Bleach ended, the manga ended. Anime's been over and the manga finally ended. I personally was not caught up on the manga. I jumped in the last arc when I heard that the manga was actually going to end. So I jumped in the last arc up until the end, and then of course I have seen all of the anime, which I was a big fan of. I got to thinking, and I said, what if I do a bark on the legacy of Bleach, not necessarily of the manga or the anime, but Bleach as a whole franchise. Bleach is one of those animes that was, it was part of the big three. It was one of those anime that got a lot of people into anime, and so I thought about, I said, what if I do, talk about the legacy of Bleach now that it's completely done. There's no more manga, there's no more anime, it's a wrap. And so that's what the bark today is going to be about. It's going to be on the legacy of Bleach and kind of where it stands now as a whole franchise, whether it's one that people should go back to later on and watch again or experience again. Should new anime fans get into Bleach, or is it one of those ones that just, it came, we loved it, it did what it was supposed to do, and now we leave it on the shelf just as a gem and you don't touch it again? So that's kind of what I want to touch on. So I guess first I'll start with should new anime fans jump into Bleach? Bleach is one of those shows. It was a shonen. It was a shonen that was shonen to the death. We all know. You watch Naruto, you watch One Piece, you watch Fairy Tail, you watch Bleach. There are those shonen shows that just, it's about the friends, and I have my friends back to the very end. I will go down fighting if I have to for them. And of course, there's the main character who always seems to never be defeated, no matter how beat down he gets, no matter how bloody, no matter how big the battle. He always seems to come back and be able to win. Naruto does it, Luffy does it, and Ichigo definitely did it. I've seen Bleach episodes where Ichigo was, there was no way for him to even possibly win, and then he would come back. He would pull out his Zanpakuto, and then everything would happen, and bam, boom, and there we go. So, given that Bleach is definitely shonen to the core, for people who have never seen Bleach or have never experienced Bleach, personally, I would say, sure, you could jump into it, but be prepared for a long, long ride. Because not only is Bleach a long anime, but there's characters, and there's more characters. There's the full brims, there's the bounce that they introduce, there's the hollows, there's when they go to Wako Mundo. There's so many characters in Bleach that is almost, it can weigh you down almost if you let it, because there's so many characters and so many stories and so many arcs that it can get confusing at times, and sometimes it can seem like characters come and they go, and then you never really see them again. And I don't know, but if you're newer to anime, you haven't seen Bleach, it's definitely worth the watch. That's for sure, because you'll fall in love with it. No matter how bad it gets, sometimes you'll fall in love with it. But just be prepared for a long ride. It is a long, long anime, that's for sure. And then for people who have seen Bleach, who have experienced Bleach, me personally, I don't think I would ever go back to it as a series. I didn't jump into Bleach until probably episode, maybe I'll say somewhere between 6 and 10, because I had just gotten into anime, and Bleach was coming on Adult Swim at that time, but it had only been on a little while. It was during the point to where Ichigo had just gotten his. No, he maybe didn't have the powers yet. He had just met Rukia, and she was about to give him his soul powers, and that's the point where I started watching Bleach. So, if I ever went back, I would love to go back and watch those first few episodes over again, just to say I've seen them, because I didn't start there. But Bleach is one of those animes that there are certain arcs that I would say people would go back and watch. The arc where Rukia is about to be killed, that arc's amazing. Me personally, I love the Bound arc. I would go back and watch it again. But Bleach is one of those shows that I don't. It's so long and there's so much story that I don't see anybody ever going back and watching the whole episode over again, because there's just so much of it. I don't. And it's roughly about 300 plus episodes. I want to say, I can't remember the total number. I want to say like maybe 320 something, maybe even 360 something. But I don't see anybody ever going back and watching the whole series over again. Maybe the movies, like I said, maybe certain arcs. But I feel like it's too long to really go back and especially when you know what's going to happen already, to go back and kind of watch that whole series over again. I don't think you get the same experience that you got the first time around, and it's not quite the same impact. Not to mention that the ending of the Bleach anime, I know that they say that everything got rushed towards the end. You can tell with the manga. I'll go to that in a minute, but you can tell with the manga it was rushed. I know the anime got canceled, and I don't know. I kind of wish, since they knew it was going to get canceled, they just left it at the Aizen arc. Once that was finished, they let the anime kind of just be over. Because, if I'm not mistaken, the last arc of the anime anyway was the Fulbrim arc, or however you say it. That was the last arc, and by that point, I hated it. I didn't hate Bleach, but I thought that arc was just completely random and pointless, and in a way dumb. Because to me, it felt that they were, like, to me, the whole feeling of the arc was not they want to introduce new characters. The feeling of the arc felt that we need some kind of way to get Ichigo his powers back, so let's just bring in these characters and make up this story, and bam, he gets powers back. And it felt pointless, because I saw the end game. The end game was getting Ichigo his powers back. That was clear to see, and it was just like, the story was just there for that reason, and nothing felt comfortable about it. There was no real entertainment to it. It was like, chats with this group, and or Hime, and they have powers, and it was just. And then didn't they turn out to also have been former Soul Reapers or something? I don't know. The arc was dumb, and it got to that point to where I was watching Bleach weekly, but my TV was on Bleach, but I was barely paying attention to it until maybe the last 2 or 3 episodes, when I knew it was coming to an end. Because the storyline and the arc just totally disconnected from me, and I just was not enjoying it at all. I would have rather them trying to kill Ichigo or something, some kind of way he got his powers back, some other way other than just this training with these people, and I don't know, it just didn't work for me. And so once the anime got over, I never got to the manga. I kind of just was like, okay, the anime is over, I know the manga's still going, and then I heard the manga was going to end, and so I was like, well, it's ending, I have to jump into it now so I can catch the ending of the manga. So I jumped into it in the last couple chapters and started reading from that point. And it was, I know people were saying it was bad. Maybe because I was just getting into it at that point and hadn't been following the manga the entire time. I didn't think the storylines were horrible. I jumped in it right when, I don't know how to describe it. They were fighting some people. They were trapped inside of this, like, house type thing. It was Uryu, Ichigo, and a few more. And then they were trapped there and they were fighting, and then I missed a chapter or two in there somewhere, and then that was when they said Bleach was really about to end in a certain amount of weeks. It was coming up very, very soon. So I jumped right back into it again. And this time I jumped in at the arc where they were fighting this god, and he was trying to destroy the planet, or however you want to call it. He was trying to destroy everything and trying to take over. But then I don't know. I don't know if it was because of the deadline, if it was because of the rush, or what. But we get to the point to where he's about to destroy Ichigo, or Ichigo's about to destroy him, and then it just goes away. Like the next chapter, it was gone. There was this time skip, and there was nothing, and it was just like, okay, well, where's the rest of this arc? Like it ended right there. Do this time skip, and then we're back into the Soul Society, and they're doing everything. And there's a new captain. Rukia's new captain of Squad 13. And then we get to the where they all have children and everything. She has a child with Renji. Ichigo has a child with Orihime. And it was just like, okay, where's the rest of the arc? And they just skipped it. And I don't know, that was the ending of Bleach. And while it was a decent ending, it felt incomplete. And I don't know, it just, and that's really what made me want to do this bark, was that it just felt like after all this time of Bleach, all these years, that both endings to the anime and to the manga were both a letdown. And it was just like, you hate to see an anime like Bleach that had such a long time following with so many fans. You hate to see it go down the way it did. It has gone down as one of those animes that will always be great for what it was, but also ended on a very sour note. The manga did not end great. I've heard, especially over the last couple of years, that the manga was very hit or miss. The anime, while I was still enjoying it all the way up to the Aizen arc, and after the Aizen arc, I've heard, people kind of stopped watching it also, which is why it got canceled. The Bleach story just, it got contaminated somewhere in there, and it just wasn't the same it used to be. And that's why I want to talk about the legacy, because I feel like now with everything being over, that the legacy of Bleach, as it stands right now, is that it was a series that got tons of people into anime, that people still love to this day, but it also has an asterisk on it as far as it just did not, and in the end, it did not live up to all the greatness that it had been at one point. It was such a great show that it slowly declined, and it slowly just did not live up to what it once was. It's a show that people always hold in great regard, but I do not think that people would recommend it, only because the manga gets worse and the anime ends on a very damper note. And I don't know, Bleach just, I feel like it's one of those shows that just, you put it on the shelf and you say, man, did you watch Bleach? I did. It was one of those shows that you experienced and you enjoyed it for the experience that it was. It's one of those shows you'll always remember as being part of the big three, part of that Adult Swim anime night where you would watch Bleach and you would watch Eureka 7, and it was that show. It was the mainstay all the way through. And that's what made it great, because when I started watching anime, it was on Adult Swim, and it was Bleach, Eureka 7, Samurai Champloo was coming on, Fooly Cooly, and then of course Blood Positive came on, then Trinity Blood. But throughout the years, Big O also, but throughout the years, that mainstay has always been Bleach. I want to say even when Toonami started back up, Bleach was still there. And so Bleach was always that mainstay, even after One Piece got cut off of Cartoon Network, even when Naruto went away, Bleach was always there. And so it's kind of sad to see the state that it went out in. But it's always good memories. Bleach had great characters: Ichigo, Renji, Rukia, Uryu, Orihime, Chad. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. For every captain that, I mean, Bleach has so many great characters and so many people that you can relate to. And Bleach will always be one of my favorite shows. It's just that I feel that it could have ended a lot better. And maybe, if I'm not mistaken, they're making a live action movie. Maybe the live action movie will bring a little something back to the franchise. Maybe it'll be for the fans, and maybe it'll end it on a really, really high note and let Bleach go out the way it should have went out in the first place. That's what I'm hoping for. And yeah, so that's mainly what I want to talk about Bleach and just where I thought the legacy is now. As far as it goes right now, I see the legacy of Bleach is a wonderful anime that gave us one hell of a ride. We couldn't ask for anything better. It was one of those shows that it touched you with the characters. You felt every hit Ichigo took. You felt every blow. When storylines like when they met Nail, and she was just this little girl, and she was, she was in Waco Mundo, but she wasn't. I can't remember what they call the half hollows, but she was there, but she wasn't evil. And when she did her thing, and you realize she was this super hot anime chick. But yeah, but she was also crazy powerful, and it was storylines like that really made Bleach touchy. When they went to save Rukia and they did all of this, they just saved their friend because she was their friend and they wanted to save her. And it really, really, really was a great show. I just wish it had gone out on a better note. So yeah, I guess that's it. I ranted a lot, ranted enough. So leave your thoughts in the comments about Bleach. Where do you think the legacy stands? Did you enjoy it? Did you not like it? Did you ever finish Bleach? Did you finish it just to say you had finished it? If so, did you finish the manga or the anime, or did you finish both? Leave your comments below. Thank you for listening. Yeah, back soon with another video for you guys. Again, thanks for listening. Remember, like, comment, subscribe. And as always, until next time, Maho out.